Alrighty. So, first I need to tie my shoe. And then we'll get through this warm-up. So we're going to start with our arms. Nice big circles each direction. Here we're working on getting our core nice and warm. Just in general of this warm-up. Our major joints. So we're doing our shoulders. We're going to do our hips. We're going to do a little bit extra leg, because we use those a lot today. We're going to switch arms. And switch directions. Good. Then I'm going to do some swings just in front of me. You can do these ones at any speed, nice and slow, if you want to kind of give yourself a hug and twist a little, or with a little bit bigger clip, getting more range of motion. And we're going to work into our legs. We're going side to side first, remembering to pull from the outside and pull back from the inside. Whoa, I'm wobbling everywhere. We'll switch sides. Good. Now we're going to switch front to back. Think about activating those hamstrings as you pull back, using those hip flexors, feeling it in your core as you swing forward. Good. We'll switch legs. Now we're going to work into our hip hinges and our squats. So feet's going to stay shoulder width apart. Chest stays big. Back stays nice and long. We're going to stick our butt out. Feel the pull in your hamstrings. And then take your time coming up, squeezing your glutes at the top. Trying to get a little bit more range of motion there. With each one, we'll do about 8 there. I've got about 2 more. Good, then we're gonna finish up with our squats. Feet shoulder width apart, weight all the way in your heels. You can almost pull your big toes off the ground. We're sitting trying to get those thighs parallel to the ground. It may not happen those first couple, but we're working to increase that range of motion as we go through. We're gonna do 8 of those, and you guys can keep working through a little bit more of a warm-up if you need to do some hamstring stretches, reaching for your toes, spinal twist, do those. I'm going to explain this first group of exercises. I think we have honestly, they're all mostly new exercises, so this round might take a little bit longer. We're going to start with jump lunges, where we do 8 each leg. So what we're going to do is step ourselves into our lunge position. I don't want the knee sliding over your toe, but basically what you're going to do is start in a lunge, and then you're just going to jump and switch which leg is forward. If this is too much of an impact for you, you can just step, but obviously we're trying to elevate that heart rate with the jumping, so we'll do 8 each, so 16 total. From there, we're gonna move into dive bomb push-ups, and these ones are new for us, and I think should be a challenge, and will be a challenge. So what you're gonna do is put yourself into downward dog, and then what you do is do kind of, when we do our down dog push-ups, or for the yogis out there, I think this is called chaturanga kind of. But what you're gonna do is basically do one of those push-ups, and then kind of just push yourself through where you get to up dog, and then we'll return, do one of those push-ups, kind of push your head along the ground and your body through into up dog. Those you're really gonna feel in your shoulders, feel that range of motion coming. It's working your back a little bit too. After that, we're gonna grab one weight for our deadlift hops. If you can get your weight to stand on one end, it's gonna work a little bit better for you, but if that doesn't work, anything will. But what you're gonna do is stand with your weight over in the middle of your legs. To deadlift, it's just like that hip hinge that we worked to warm up on. So what we're gonna do is keep our weight in our heels, chest stays big, nice and long from the crown of our head down through our tailbone. So what we're gonna do is grab that weight, deadlift it up, squeeze our glutes, lower down, stay in control. From this lower position, with still having a slight bend in our knee, we're gonna hop backwards, hop forward, deadlift. Hop backwards, hop forwards, deadlift. So we're doing 8 of those. After that, we'll grab both your dumbbells at one time, and we're gonna do Zotman curls. So these ones are a little confusing at first, but once you get the pattern, you'll follow. So what we do is a bicep curl, then at the top, we flip our palms down, and we lower with our palms facing away from us, and they should end up touching your thighs. Then at the bottom, we flip again, bicep curl, and then flip at the top and lower. And as we lower, we're working our forearms, if that helps you for thinking. And then our final exercise will be a weighted ceiling crunch. So you'll need just one dumbbell again. We'll get on our back. You're gonna hold that weight right over your chest. Knees are bent. And then what I want you to do is just think about lifting that dumbbell to the ceiling. It's a pretty small movement. You're just trying to pull your shoulder blades off the ground, but we're using that core to lift us. 8 of those. So everything's 8 reps except for those dive bomb push-ups. Those are gonna just be 5 because they're kind of difficult, a very unorthodox movement for us that we haven't done before. And we're gonna work through this for 6 minutes. So I'm gonna put the time up on the board behind me, and we will be off. So you guys can get yourself ready in that lunge position. And here we go. 6 minutes, so we're doing 8 each leg here. Try and get your heart rate up. Keep the same bounce. If you don't feel safe with this, like I said, you can definitely just step back and do step back lunges. That is just fine. After this, we get ourselves ready for those dive bomb push-ups. So start in down dog, crown lowers to the ground, push yourself through, and you push yourself back up into down dog. Try and keep those thighs off the ground as you work through, but if you need, you can certainly lower them down. That's obviously gonna take a little bit of tension off of those shoulders. Good. After those, we grab one dumbbell. If your dumbbell doesn't sit up on one side, that's fine. If it's laying flat on the ground like this, it's just increasing your range of motion. So no issues there. But with the deadlifts, it's like the kettlebell swing. We're just having a hip hinge, working those hamstrings, glutes. Don't forget the hop. You, of course, can do a step back and forward. We're trying to keep tension in our legs, fatigue our legs with that hop. It doesn't need to be giant. Keep working. Remembering 8 reps of everything here. Good work. As you finish up with those deadlift hops, we grab both weights for the Zotman curls. With any curls, we're keeping in elbows nice and tight to our ribs. Shoulders stay back and down. There's no rush with these curls, especially on the down portion. We want to increase our time under tension. That amount of time that we're working against the weight. When we finish up with those curls, we grab just one weight for those ceiling crunch, weighted ceiling crunches. Just think about lifting that weight straight towards the ceiling. You're just pulling those shoulder blades off the ground. You don't have to curl all the way up. It's really just a small crunch. After that, we're back to the beginning for jump lunges. See if you can work a little bit faster as you get more comfortable with the movement. Keep yourself safe in those jump lunges though. Keep in control of your body. Don't move faster than your body will let you. After those, we have those interesting dive bomb push-ups. I know that my shoulders are feeling these because we're putting them under pressure as we move it through a range of motion. So typically, anytime we do a movement, it's through one plane of motion. So we move our arms forward and backwards, up and down to the side. But there, as our shoulders are gliding through that range of motion, we're activating different parts of the muscles that work around it with our body weight. From there, we do our deadlifts, hops, stay in your legs, keep working. We have 30 seconds here. Weight stays in your heels when you deadlift. We have 10 seconds, work hard. We're gonna finish up whatever exercise we're on. Don't keep that from you starting a new one. Excellent work. We'll relax. Grab a sip of water. We've got 1 of 6 done here. We're moving on to that second group. I'll explain those exercises for you while you get your water. So this first one, good morning to prisoner squat. We've done both movements, but we're incorporating it into one right now. So I'm gonna show you this one from the side and, sorry, I'm catching my breath. Straight on, but the good morning part is just like the deadlift we've worked. So that part, we're working our hamstrings, our glutes, so hands are gonna be behind our head, slight bend in our knee, and then all we do is push our booty back, chest stays big, feel that hamstring. It's just this hinge we did at the beginning to warm up. Then we stand up and go straight into a prisoner squat with those hands behind our head. So it's definitely movements you guys have done before, but all we're doing, asking our body to do is fire different parts of our legs, move from hamstrings to quads and quads to hamstrings. So that we're working those major muscle groups. From there, we go to plank to ankle taps. Similar to those dive bomb push-ups that we just did, but we're gonna start in a high plank. Again, we're gonna push ourselves up into down dog, but then you're gonna tap opposite ankle to opposite hand, lower yourself back down into a plank. We're going back and forth there for 8 total reps. From there, we'll grab both dumbbells, lie on our back. Another 2-part movement. Feet are bent, or knees are bent, feet are on the ground. First one, weights stay together for skull crushers. This is a tricep movement. So we lower the butt of the dumbbells right above our head, so you get the gist. If we were to drop them, we would crush our skull. From there, we engage our triceps, lift to right above our chest. This sets us up to do a chest fly. With a slight bend in our elbow, we fly our arms open, squeeze together. Skull crusher, chest fly. From there, we keep one weight. We're on both knees, hips forward, and this to get that core engaged, glutes are engaged. Weight stays even with our chest, and all we're doing is pushing out and in. We're working our shoulders here and our chest, and then the final exercise of this, we flip to our butt for Russian twists with or without weight. You can also make adjustments, feet on the ground or off. We hinge back at our hips, feel resistance in our core, nice and slow. We rotate side to side, getting that oblique engagement, 8 each direction there, okay? So no big core movements here, lots of strength. No cardio, lots of core movements, but lots of strength. So with that being said, we're just gonna start right now to keep that heart rate somewhat up. So we have those good mornings to prisoner squat. So hands stay behind your head, butt sticks out, fire those glutes and hamstrings. Get yourself positioned right for a squat, feet over your shoulders. Core stays nice and tight, chest stays big. When we squat, we don't collapse forward. We hold resistance in our inner thighs. This one you can slow down the good morning part of this, that first movement, and try and incorporate a little bit of speed into your squat, getting low, pushing your heels against the ground to stand you up quickly. Good, and after those, we drop down. We have plank to ankle taps, 8 total. Make sure your hands stay under your shoulders here, and you push yourself all the way up, or I guess you're pushing yourself down, into your good high plank position. Nice and in control. Good, from there, we have skull crushers to chest fly, 8 total. We're starting to feel nice and warmed up. The core is getting warm. When we're on the ground like this, I want you to think about pushing your low back into the ground. So we're keeping a nice neutral spine. We don't have a big arch in that low back in our lumbar spine. We drop those dumbbells right above our head and then fly our arms open and feel our chest muscles squeezing as we come back to center. Keep working through this. Good. When we're there, we push ourselves up onto both knees. Hips push forward. Core is engaged on this one. We're staying upright. Feel those shoulders start to burn. We got this. Weight stays nice and even with your chest that whole time. Don't let it drop. From there, we flip onto our butt. Russian twists again, taking whatever variation you need. If you do lift your feet, don't cross them over. Try and keep them side by side. Good. We're focused obliques there, but obviously, as we sit back more, we have that hinge more at our hips, we're gonna feel the middle of our core working. We're back to the top with those good mornings to squats. We're more than halfway through, but I think we can push our pace this second time around. Try and make it 2 times through this. See if you can feel the different parts of your legs. Oh, sorry guys, my headphone fell out. I hope you can still hear me. Activate as you go from the good mornings to those squats. After those, we push to our plank to ankle taps. Again, controlling movement. But see if you can do that with increasing your speed just slightly. Hands stay under your shoulders. We have a tendency to want to bring our hands out in front of us on that one. When we put them back down, from there we flip to our back. Skull crushers to chest fly. We got this. A minute left. Keep working. Core stays, of course, engaged. So by that, I mean we're pulling our belly button into your spine. Feel like you're closing the distance up top between your ribs and you're engaging the part of your core that wraps side to side. We've got press outs. Hips are forward. Good. Then we quickly flip over for Russian twist. We're working through the timer, finishing up whatever movement you're on. Stay with it. And when you finish that up, we're done. You guys can get a drink of water. This next segment, we're working with that chair we brought in. I'm just gonna scoot mine a little bit more in the camera and I'll explain the workouts to you guys. Most of them, well, 2 of them, you should be familiar with. First one is lateral hop, so make sure your weights are out of the way so we don't bust an ankle on it, but what we're gonna do is grab the part of the chair where we would sit on, we put ourselves in our high plank position, and then all we're gonna do is hop side to side, trying to get our feet to the outside of that chair. Side to side, we're going 8 each way. So it'll be 16 total hops. From there, we're gonna do Bulgarian squats. So for this one, you guys can certainly use your weight because it's a new movement. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine too. But what you're gonna do is put one foot up on the chair. So what this does is this eliminates any activation from this leg, makes it a unilateral movement. So then all we do is do a lunge, or what we would do a squat with this movement. So we just lower and raise, lower and raise. You're gonna really feel that working in the quads of the leg that obviously is on the ground. You can increase intensity by holding a weight even with your chest, or even if you want to hold it goblet, so you're holding kind of one end of it under your chin, you can do that. That'll up the intensity of that exercise. We're doing 8 on each leg there. Then we flip over to window wipers. I'm going to show tricep dips first, and we can change the order as I'm looking at this now, so we don't have to get on the ground and get up. But you guys know tricep dips. We get in tabletop, and we lower and raise, lower and raise. 8 counts. From there, we put ourselves on the ground, and all this chair is a point of stability for us. So you can grab, again, the seat, the legs with your feet together. We're gonna move like window wipers. So we're gonna go to the side, pull those legs up, to the side, pull those legs up. You can put your dumbbells on the chair to give it some resistance so it doesn't wiggle too much off you. But again, that's gonna be lots of oblique work for us there, doing those window wipers. So we really only have 4 exercises, but we're switching right leg, left leg for those Bulgarian squats. I'm gonna go ahead and grab weight for those Bulgarian squats. But again, if you don't feel comfortable with the movement, especially the first time through, then you don't have to do it, and you can just work on getting the movement down before you increase intensity. But we have 6 minutes, and we are off, so we're starting with those hops. Again, side to side. If you need to bring it down a little bit, you can just step side to side. Make sure to keep your feet back so we don't end up hopping in one of those like tabletop positions. Keep your feet the same distance from the chair. You want to make sure that you get far enough away on this one that that knee doesn't slide over your toes. Protect that knee. I also feel this one kind of on the outer front of the hip that's on the chair. And what I really think it's doing is just increasing my typical range of motion in that hip. We push through our heels as we stand up. Excellent. From there, we can move into our tricep dips. From tabletop. Movements coming from our elbow and shoulders. We're not just dropping our butt down. We're feeling those arms work for us. Excellent. I'm gonna put that weight on my chair to give me a little resistance. And with the window wipers, I want you to be able to control your legs the whole way. So only go to a point where you feel like you can pick them up and they're not gonna fall to the ground on you. Breathe through these. We've got 8 each way. Take this time to catch your breath. From here, we're back up into hops. We got this. We're halfway through right now, so we can definitely get through 2 if you're on pace with me. Again, feet stay the same distance from that chair. Weight pushes through our heels. Feel all that weight in that foot that's on the ground. Whoa, lost my balance there for a second. From there, we've got our favorite tricep dips. Pushing yourself here. Then we have our windshield wipers. I'm really feeling my core fire on these. We're kind of feeling our abs cross, getting that rotation in there, increasing the torque as we pull them up. Nice and controlled. Legs only need to lower as far as you feel that you're in control of them. After those, we've still got about 40 seconds. We can hop up, get another round of hops in. Instead of Bulgarian squats here, I'm just gonna do another round of tricep dips. So I'm working through this timer. And relax. Finish up what you're on. We are halfway through. Grab some water, you guys know the drill. That's all we should need with the chair so you can get it out of your way. We're moving into that fourth column here. So we're starting with a step back lunge to a kick. This lunge should feel significantly easier after doing those Bulgarian squats because our weight is back in both legs. So in control, we lunge back, come up, kick. We're doing 8 one leg, switch, 8 the other. From there, we're doubling up on lunges, but we're activating different muscles when we go into the curtsy. So the curtsy, we go behind and back. As we come up, we've done this before, we engage that outer thigh, our lateral leg. We squeeze. You should feel it into your oblique a little bit too. Lunge back, squeeze. Lunge back, squeeze. 8 right, 8 left. Then we go bicep curl to shoulder press. So with palms out, we curl those weights up to our shoulders again. Elbows staying tight, shoulders back and down. From here, we rotate palms together. Push up, weights straight above our head. Return them safely down, same way. Curl to press. 8 total, hands are moving together. From there, we have renegade rows. You can keep the weights in your hand. This one you can do either in your high plank position, standard position, butt down, hands under shoulders, or you can just drop your knees. But all we're gonna do is row, 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 8 each arm. Those I want you to try and keep yourself fairly level. We're not tilting too much to one side or the other. We're engaging, again, that transverse core, that deep layer of our core, pulling those ribs in to keep us nice and level. And from tilting side to side. So with that being said, we're going 6 minutes on the clock. We're starting with those step back lunges to kicks, 8 left side, 8 right side. Then we have curtsy lunges. Those legs should be on fire this time. Let's get started. Lunge back. Make that kick powerful. Good. And we switch our legs. Feet are staying shoulder width apart even when we lunge to keep some balance under us. Excellent work. From there, we have our curtsy lunge to leg lift. Control both ends of this movement. Feel that inner thigh as we do the curtsy lunge, outer thigh as we lift. 8 each way. Keep working. From there, grab your weights. We have bicep curl to shoulder press. You got this. Eight of these. From here, we go straight into our renegade rows. On our rows, our elbows staying nice and tight to our side. Push through your heels in that plank to get some quad engagement. From there, we're back to the top. We step back lunge to kick. I'm not even halfway there, so we can definitely make it through 2 rounds, but push yourself to get through a little bit more than that. Remembering to breathe. Whoa. After these, we're doubling up on curtsy lunges. Legs should be burning. To increase the difficulty on that leg lift, you can think of pulling your toes in towards your shin. That's gonna make that glute work for you. Keep working. After this, we have our curl to press and renegade rows. Turn those weights down. Same way they come up. Make sure they hang all the way heavy by your hips before starting the next rep. Excellent. Down into those renegade rows. I'm gonna take this round on my knees, but my hips are down, my core still engaged. And we hop up. We have step back lunges to kicks. We got this. 30 more seconds. Keep yourself moving. I know my legs are feeling it here, but push yourself. Control your body, control your movements. Five more seconds. Keep working. Good. Relax. Finish up what you're on. I'm gonna explain these next exercises quickly. And we're gonna hop into them. These next two rounds, we're gonna finish out at 4 minutes apiece, but I want us to push ourselves through the round. We're gonna try and up our pace a bit. We should really be feeling warm. I know I am, but quickly I'll explain these exercises. We start with squat jacks, which we've done, where we squat in, out, in, out. We're gonna do 16 total of those. From there, we drop down into a low plank, our forearm plank. Elbows under shoulders, feet within your hips, butt down. From here, we dip one hip down. So we're just twisting in that. We're going to go 8 each side there. From there, we flip over, we have crab kicks. So we're on our tabletop, kick your legs out, just out right in front of you. 8 kicks each leg. From there, we drop. We've got glute bridges, single leg, 8 each leg. So from our position with our heels in our ground, we lift one leg, use your shoulders and elbows as a place to push against. Lift those hips, 8 each leg on that one. And we get back to squat jacks. We've got 4 hard minutes of this, and then we finish up that column. So grab a last little sip of water, and we're getting into those squat jacks. 16 total of them. Let's get after it. Quick 4 here. Push yourself. 16 of these. If you need to, you can step out here. Good. From there, we drop to the ground. Plank dips. Again, we're rotating that core. We're firing those obliques. Nice and slow. Think about tapping the lateral part of your hip on the ground. Good work. We flip over for crab kicks. We put ourselves up in that tabletop position, hold our hips up, and we kick out. 8 each leg. Keep those hips up. I know we want to drop them. From there, you can fall back to your back, lift one leg, single leg glute bridges. Think about tapping your heel up into the ceiling, so that makes you pull that toe into your shin. Get full range of motion. Both legs here, 8 each leg. Good. We hop up, back to the top, squat jacks. Keep working, guys. We are almost there. From squat jacks, we're in our low plank. For plank twist, nice and slow, in control. Good. Then we flip over. For crab kicks, we have 40 more seconds here. Work it out. Hold those hips up. Lift that chest to the ceiling. Last 15. We got this. Glute bridges, single leg. If you need to just do 4 and 4, make sure you stay even. Time is up. Finish up what you're on. Okay, so we've kind of run out of time here, but that's okay. We're gonna just do a 1-minute burnout here. So all we're gonna do is that first exercise of that 6th group for 1 minute. I'm gonna show it to you guys. This one's cardio. We're gonna feel our legs burning, but we got this. We have work for 1 more minute. So what we're gonna do for this one is start in our high plank position. You guys know mountain climbers. So what we'll do is do 4 mountain climbers each leg, so 8 total. So boom, do those. From there, you'll get both feet back, get in your high plank, and you're gonna hop your feet up, kind of into a squat. You're gonna just stay low. We won't do anything from here. Hands go back down, feet push out. Mountain climbers. Up, back. We're staying in those legs here. You should feel them burn. But we have this. This is our last minute of work. If you need to, step those feet up, but don't rise all the way up. I want us to stay in that squat when we go into it and work those legs, okay? We're going for 1 more minute right here. Let's start. Push yourself. 8 mountain climbers, or 4, 8 total. Up, squat, back. Up, squat, back. Keep working, you guys. We're halfway through. Keep up your pace. Keep yourself working. Keep those hands under your shoulders on those mountain climbers. Last 5 seconds. Get in 1 more rep. Good work, you guys. We are done. Whew, man, I'm sweating. Get some water. We're gonna stretch you out. We're just gonna meet on the ground for this one. I hope you guys are as sweaty as I am. I got it dripping off my chin. running down my chest, then my eyes, but get your water. We're gonna meet in tabletop to start. Sorry, we got started a little bit late and just didn't count the time right, but we're all right. We still got the workout in. So in tabletop, we're gonna start with cat-cows. So let's go ahead and tuck our chin, round out our spine, lifting it to the ceiling. Shoulder blades pull apart for cat. We hold there for a 3 count. And then you can drop your stomach, lift your gaze, pull your shoulder blades together for cow. Holding each for about 3 seconds, and we're rotating back and forth 3 to 4 times. See if you can increase that range of motion. Good. From there, we're gonna connect your big toes, spread your knees apart, and sit back in for child's pose. You can rest your forehead on the mat here. Walk your hands out. Feel a stretch in your lats from under your shoulder blades down to your mid-back. Now, nice and slowly, we'll walk our hands to the right. Feel a stretch in your left side body here. Continuing to reach through your fingertips. Good. Now we're gonna walk our hands the other way. Walk them to the left, nice and slowly. Feel that stretch in your right side body. Excellent. We're gonna return to center. And we'll relax in child's pose for a couple more seconds. And then from here, like we did with those dive bomb push-ups, we're gonna kind of push our head through our shoulders. You'll come onto your knees a little bit, but then we're gonna stretch our chest. So I think it's cobra in yoga. Wherever range of motion is comfortable for you, feel that stretch up your core, through your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You can lift your chin here. Good. We'll push back. You can do the child's pose real quick again, and then we're gonna flip to our butt. Gonna meet in butterfly. Soles of your feet together. You can use your elbows to push your legs down. Of course, you can do some head rolls here, or nod yes and no. Be sure to go both directions. Excellent. We'll reach both legs straight out, cross one over, get that spinal rotation in. So opposite arm is gonna go to the outside of that leg. We're twisting, trying to see over that back shoulder. And we'll go the other way. Good. We'll unzip, feet straight together. We're gonna hit those hamstrings. So we're gonna hinge at our waist, really reaching towards our toes. Feel the back of your legs pull. Go to where it's comfortable. Take some nice deep breaths here. Think about, while you're stretching those hamstrings, feeling your low back pulling as well. Our hamstrings and low back work in unison, and when we've got tightness in one, We often have tightness in others, so feel those hamstrings working into your low back. And we're just gonna slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Feel your back rounding up as you come. And we're just gonna end with a nice big inhale. Reach those arms up. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, push those arms down. We'll do this 3 times. Nice big inhale. Feel the stretch through your shoulders, through your core. Fill your lungs. Exhale, let it go. Swing your arms in. 1 more. Nice big inhale. And exhale, let it go. Excellent work tonight, everyone. It's always great to see you. And we will plan on Thursday. Thank you.